You brought up her being exotic looking before.
Right.
So do you think that you actually stayed around longer than you would if you was with somebody regular looking?
Man, you know what? Right now, I mean, I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, I'm going halfway crazy because her little pretty face and the way she bat her eyes. No, she do, but then she got this pretty face that allure any man in, and I'm sure she's using it up the yin yang right now. She'll put on them fake eyelashes and boom, and she'll have them eaten out of her hand.
The eyelashes bother you. You keep bringing them up.
I'm
Keep
serious.
bringing
I'm
up the
serious. Because
flash.
before the eyelashes, she was a normal chick. She was like down to earth. She was grounded. But then she threw them on, and it's like Kim K, Kardashian, and it's like she's not Kardashian though. And so I just think that's where it gets pretty tricky. But I ain't gonna lie, yeah, having a pretty exotic, yeah, you are pretty much kicking yourself in the butt when you let that go. But then it's like, why are you doing that to yourself? Because that person doesn't have the same values and the same as you. You're on a different level. They're on a different level. So you have to just let it go.
You gotta let it go, right?
I mean, they might, right? Like, not everybody
Certain
exotic
stuff,
looking
yeah.
is like trying to be Kim Kardashian.
Right. They may just be really hecka fine.
Right,
Like
exactly.
like I said, I mean, I guess you could say I now have a weakness for Asian girls, Asian women, because I've been with an Asian woman, so like I kind of have a weakness for them now. It's like when I see them, I'm like, yeah, she's pretty. But then I think about all this stuff that I'm going through now. It's like, now I don't like them. It's like, they're capable of having this overly kind of too pretty, and it'll make a man crazy.
But that's any woman.
Any woman could do
and
that.
any person, period, though.
Right.
You can't put everybody in the box
Yeah.
because of what you're going
Exactly.
through.
So that's what I said. I mean, I'm
yeah.
just, that's my own personal experience. But yeah, any woman could be just outlandishly beautiful or just have very beautiful characteristics. And if you don't balance out, then yeah, you can go crazy.
So, was there ever a time that you gave up on black women? Now, I'm not going to date them at all. I'm going to exclusively date other ethnic groups.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Y'all hear that? They ain't getting up. All right. So, the next one is when you discuss your woes with the other ethnic groups. As far as being a black man living in America, we brought up police brutality before, and just feeling like you have to work extra hard or be better than.
Yeah.
When you have these types of conversations with the women, did they actually understand where you were coming from, or was it like lengthy conversations for you to get them to understand your side of where you're coming from, why you're frustrated?
I think they stigmatize you even more. They even put you in this basket case. I feel like in a way, with my situation or just with my situation, I feel like they say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, but you're letting it get to you too much. Or yeah, okay, I understand, but let's change the channel. Even my own manager, she goes, oh, well, don't watch the news. They say stuff like that. They say, well, just turn a blind eye. And I said, I told them, my manager said, you can't turn a blind eye to the ills of the world, especially if you're a black man. Because see, this is going on outside of our doorstep. When we walk out there, it's a war zone, and they killing brothers. Brothers are dying. People are getting treated unfair. And so for us, I think that to answer your question in this context, yes, sometimes you could get into a lengthy conversation. Other times it's a brief conversation, but then I don't think they want to really feel that pain, nor do they want you to see you go through it because it's such immense and they know that it's an entrenched psychological, systemic, physical battle. It's something that you don't really, just like if you bring up racism to a white person right now, you're shining a mirror in their face that they don't really want to mount up to. They will say, well, that was in the past. Everything is good now. You could get forward. You can go and buy you a new Jagged Edge CD and some Jordans, and you'll be all right.
With that voice.
That's the voice, though.
You know what I'm saying? That's the voice.
That's the voice.
We did some bad things, but if you look at the demographics, they got more bigger houses than us. They got it's called white privilege. They have more stake on the capital gains. They have more stakes on just everything, the social economical realm. And then for us African Americans, we're naturalists. We like nature. That's really not what we want. We want to just be comfortable, have a nice house, have some mango trees, and be cool. You know what I'm saying? But we're in their world. So I mean that's my input on that.
What about you?
I don't think that the political social racism, right? It was a there. I think she got that right. Like that was a really easy sort of conversation to have. Partly because she didn't know much about it, and
Okay.
she was like very willing to ask questions, and I was very, very willing to answer them. I think the hardest part was the sort of like economic factors that play into like racism. You know, I remember
That she didn't understand.
that she couldn't really like get because I feel like people
Define an example of something that.
right.
Define an example so we could.
So,
break it down.
so I'm a grad student, right? So I'm not making like tons of money,
Mm-hmm.
but yet I like would send money to my mom,
Mm-hmm.
right, and send money to my family and things like that, even when I didn't necessarily have it. And I'm like, this is just kind of like the economic situation that we find ourselves
Mm-hmm.
in, right? Like me and my family being, typical, not typical. I don't want to say typical, but like a low-income black family.
Okay.
Right. And she couldn't wrap her head around those sort of logics, right? Like why I would be willing to help my family out in a time of need when I didn't
When
have
you
it
needed
myself.
yourself. Oh, I see.
And I think that's the sort of like different relationship that we'll say non-black people, white people primarily, like
Right.
they develop, right? Like they have a very me first kind of mentality, right?
Right.
Like pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Mhm. Right,
Do it
right.
yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they are able. Well, I don't want to rationalize y'all. Y'all watch it. but yeah, I feel like they think that. Yeah, it's a problem to like. I don't know. I don't know how. I can't even like
Articulate it right now.
it
Okay.
really. Yeah. Maybe let me think about it. And,
I think it's more to harness our struggle. It's more difficult for other ethnics to harness our full struggle. You know, like in our black household, like for instance, our parents they kick you out, boom, and my wife's like soon to be ex-wife. I mean, they don't kick their kids out.
Mhm.
They-
He mean that like the 18.
Yeah, the 18, boom. They don't. You can stay there, and they help each other. I mean, they help each other, like to the end.
Mhm.
But ours is more kind of cutthroat. It's more, you get out there. I made you a man. Get out, boom. And then
but I think that's a product of like capitalism
Yeah.
as opposed to a product of blackness.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like that's the difference that a lot of people are struggling with is right, like how we think about like social mobility, right? Like how do you like get your own but also help, right? Like,
Right.
And so people are like, well, you just get your own and you cut off everybody else and you do what you got to do.
Exactly.
And like, I don't think that she kind of like got that sort of concept
Mhm.
because of her whiteness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I believe that same too. I think that they don't understand it like how you are, and they don't really want to because that will kind of it will kind of jade their perspective.
Mm.
They want to keep themselves kind of away from the war zone. They wanna, they'll stand on the sideline, but they don't want to get in the trench with you like that.
Mm.
Okay, so again, just touching back on the exotic thing again. So do you feel that dating outside of your race partially came from the brainwashing that the media portrays, that you see all the time where we talk about the lighter skin tone and the straight hair or the permed hair or whatever? Do you think it has something to do with the media and the standard of beauty as to why? Because for me, when you're saying exotic and black woman don't go hand in hand. So to me, when you say exotic, you're talking about other races of women.
Right.
Not always though.
Nah, because like
right?
I said, like,
Okay.
You talking about the Ethiopian one, and I was like, Ethiopian, that's exotic.
Okay, well, okay, I stand corrected.
Because like I said, there's some beautiful Nubian queens out there. Spit it out there. Some beautiful from Ethiopia to Ghana. Africa is big, and there are so many beautiful African American women out there. I mean, from the ones that cut their hair down low to the one that has straight hair that's naturally straight, not no chemicals, no nothing. To the one that has dreads that's still just beautiful. So I don't think that's the case. That's just my thing. And then exotic is not limited to just other shades of color. I think.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Definitely. There's I mean, honestly, an African woman to a Caucasian would be exotic.
Yeah.
You know. That's an exotic.
That's
for
an
them.
interesting way to
But
put
for
it.
us,
Right.
we are exotic to them.
Right.
When they came over and swooped us up from Africa, we were exotic to them. They said, let's take them over here. So,
Next question. Is it still considered a status symbol to have an exotic looking woman on your arm?
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Like I said earlier, going to the rap, hip hop era, you want a foreign. Like just how you want a foreign car, you want a foreign girl. You want a girl that not everybody sees in the streets. You want something that where people, when you go in the club, are like, wow, who's that? Yes, it's very much a status symbol. Not always a good one for the psyche, but that status symbol comes with responsibilities and a certain amount of stress to partake.
So it has nothing. I'm hearing that it really has nothing to do with the fact that you're disowning your black sister.
No,
you
definitely not. And actually, it's like that's what fell into your grasp. You kind of, I guess you could say, us men are more so like fishers. You cast your line out there, and you use whatever bait that you got, and then whatever snags on the line, it could be a guppy or it could be a prize fish. So if you happen to pull up a prize
Either way,
fish,
you got dinner.
exactly.
Oh my God! That's
So that's how you look at it. Because if you can, you don't want your ribs to be touching. So you got to have something. And if you could throw it back, you could always throw it back. But if you happen to get that prize trophy, yeah, you don't definitely want to show it off.
Right. Yeah. And I wanted to say earlier. See, I feel like the questions, generally speaking, they seem to be written from a female perspective.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Like. And so it's interesting because I feel like if you operate from a different base, right? It's like, yeah, whoever's out there is out there. Then you're gonna come up with different questions. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like going through a process of narrowing, right? It's like, the sea is big.
Yeah.
But did you, because you have children? It's a question about children. Did you fantasize about having a mixed child?
No. Just the hand that I was dealt with.
Did you fantasize when you were dating?
I did. I mean, yeah, I thought about having mixed race kids and having them be seen as beautiful and this and that and the other. And again, thinking about the sort of advantages they would have by having lighter skin. Yeah, I definitely fantasize about it. But like I said, in the end, I think it's like I have more fantasies now about having black kids.
Oh, shoot,
that's
now.
where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to actually see some black kids. I want a boy and I want a black boy.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be weird having a little person that looks like you
that's
running
gonna be off the chain,
around,
though.
right?
That's off the
Like
chain.
I don't
That's
know,
off
man.
the chain.
That's
That's gonna be off the chain, though. I think
Okay,
that would
I'll
be
take
off
your
the
word
chain.
for
I mean,
it.
like you could teach them the things. Like I wrestled in high school. I did sports. I'll be there. I'll be in that corner. I remember I was wrestling, and I was gonna take this dude down, right? And then his dad, it's white boy, and then his dad, I seen out of my peripheral, some dude come down from the stand. Well, because wrestling is a square mat. Came to the corner. Hey, Timmy, get him! And I'm like, this little kid. No, I felt this kid turn into like a little Hulkster on me. And I just gave it to him because he had his dad right there.
Yeah.
I looked in my corner and I know I called one of my chicks up to come lead support me. She came and I slammed dude in like 39 seconds. Took him down. So that's the difference.
That's love right there, right? Like, that's the power of love, for real.
It's
like
true.
you motivated to want to please, want to be there for, right? Like
that little support goes a long way.
A long way.
That phone call when you didn't think nobody was gonna call you goes a long way. People don't know.
Okay, so the stigmatisms that are associated with black women, again, being loud, cursing, not being supportive. Do you think it's just a woman thing?
I think my soon-to-be ex, she wanted to get some hair extensions. I think sometimes these other races want to emulate the African American woman.
Sometimes
They want a
Most
lot of
times.
Okay,
they're
Most
strong
times.
character. They're strong stature. When it comes to hands, I would rather have a black African American woman in my corner than my exotic woman because I know you got hands and you gonna get down for yours. She gonna bat her eyes and take off. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean that's just and those stereotypical characters are only characteristics of choice. So not all African American women are loud. Some are very quiet and very observing and just cool of nature. And then the ones who choose to take up that kind of ghetto persona, that's on them. They want to be like that, and they only pretty much put them own self in that kind of tank.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think those sort of stereotypes too, right? Like we focus on the negative part of it, but that it also has like a lot of like strength in it, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you want,
right?
You know, you want to see that in your woman, right? Like, you want to have somebody
with the hands.
Yeah, right. For instance, you go into somewhere like, take for instance, you go to the store, Best Buy. I think there's a comedian who's talking about this. You go there and you want to get a new phone, or your phone got messed up, and then you know your sister go there and chew a dude out. And then they give you 2 phones.
Right.
Like, look, take the phone.
And a $25 gift card.
Right. Just because you went in there and you chewed them out. But, you know, any woman could do that. Any woman could go in there and just represent her man in a highly fashion and you know, any woman could do that. I think in particular if a black African American does it, it's just even more enhanced. It's just more like, wow, okay, damn, she's strong. And it's honestly, it's a turn on for us.
Okay. You know? Okay. All right, so the last question is, do you have any advice pertaining anything that's going on with the topic at hand for your black sisters out there?
You got the PhD. I'm gonna answer first.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna answer first.
I don't know if they intellectual advice. You know, I ain't got nothing like that. But like, I don't know, man. Smile. You know, like
really?
Seriously,
that's the thing.
Yeah, like. I smile at you, you smile at me, we go have coffee and we have a good conversation, right? Like, leave all the stuff that, like, again, we see on TV, all these, like, preconceptions of what a black relationship is, all that sort of, like, hypersexualized stuff. If both, not only black women, but black men, if we can leave that out the door and see each other as people. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, I see you, I recognize you, I smile at you because I think you're pretty. You smile back because you like me smiling at you.
Okay.
Right? And then we go from there.
Okay.
You know, I think that needs to start being the foundation of how we develop our relationships as opposed to, oh, I see her in the club where you popping the bottle over there and VIP, this and that and the other, right? That's all vanity. That's that's all superficial, right? And we, black folks, man, we've been manipulated to be superficial, right? Like, go dance, go perform, go do this. And now we even do it with ourselves, right? So if we can figure out a way where we can just see each other as each other, right? I think that, it can go a long way.
I think, for one, my advice to African American women is first and foremost, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. And just like my brother said, smile too. You gotta smile, and also acknowledge us as when you see us as of what you want. If you see us out there, say something. Don't let the exotic woman come and take that advantage when you know that you got the same opportunity as her. Last and foremost, I would say that if you do want to engage with your brother, man, if you do want to date us, just recognize the power that you're embarking on. We could go to Africa together. We could go basically take back everything they tried to take away. And it's very powerful. And just know that once you do that, you will be pretty much freeing yourself, and you were pretty much getting rid of the curse that was pretty much placed upon us from 200, 400 years ago. And so it's pretty much it will be a renaissance. It will be a revolution, if you want to say. And it will be the first step to us going back to Mama Africa, proclaiming our heritage, proclaiming our culture, and that in itself, it's powerful.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
I think it just slipped my mind. Well, I want to say in Detroit they have this thing called wage love. Okay. Just need to wage love, right? Oh, that's what it was. So earlier I said that, like when you're in a interracial relationship, the optics of it make you hyper visible. Right. But I think when you're in a strong black relationship, right, like the force of it makes you even more,
it's
like
more
visible.
It's more enhanced.
And so that's that sort of power that you're talking about.
Exactly.
And so wage love with that power is what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also you approach it with caution to know that we need a special kind of love. I mean, it can't be a superficial love. It has to be a sustainable love. It has to be I would say just more passionate than anything, because you know the stigma, you know what we've been faced with. So just when you got to treat each other, like I said, in a way it sounds cliche, but with bubble wrap. I mean, you hold each other high and know that they're fragile. We've been already tampered with so much to where it doesn't take a lot for us to crumble. So with that being said, just be strong, but approach it as a different kind of love than anything else. And I think that will pretty much break that curse.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. See you in the next video.
Peace out.